different. It was different, and it was something else, right? We watched something different. Yeah, bars. I have such a way with words. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel where we're talking about the Spongebob Squarepants new movie, Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie. I've already reacted to the trailer of this movie and I was very excited for it. I was very excited for the plot, the fact that SpongeBob was in the movie and it's not just Sandy Cheeks, you know, it's about her and about her family, but it's got SpongeBob and Sandy, the good duo, right? So, by the way, the SpongeBob merch I'm wearing today are these Krabby Patty earrings from Hot Topic to match my Krabby Patty purse. And it's got a little coin purse attached to it, and it's the Krusty Krab. I was going to do a review on the movie because I already reacted to the trailer and I wanted to talk about it because I was very excited for this movie. I cried watching the trailer.
Flashback.
Why am I crying?
End of flashback.
Just so excited that SpongeBob was in it and that I was going to get to see more of him in this. I did plan on making a reaction. I watched the movie Friday night. Today is Sunday. I was going to rewatch the movie one last time before I filmed this review. But just to give it to you straight, I don't want to rewatch it right now. I'm good with just the one watch. So on my Letterboxd account, after my first watch, I gave it a 2.5 out of 5 stars. And there are many reasons as to why that is. I will say confidently that I think this is the worst SpongeBob movie. It's not completely terrible, but there's no way that it's better than the other 3, in my opinion. Just in my opinion, in my ranking, you know? Let's talk about, first of all, the good parts. Okay, let's not skip right to the negative. I will say I did enjoy myself watching this movie because I was just excited to have new SpongeBob content. Now I know this movie already leaked before and people have already seen it. I did not watch it because I'm scared of pirates. So I was laughing for some of the parts, like I was pointing at the TV laughing, and there are some corny things in there that got some sighs from me, but I still like tried to enjoy myself to the best of my ability because I was very excited to just watch this movie and have fun. And I, for the most part, I'd say I had fun like 70% of the time. Other 30% was like the other things I'll talk about later. I liked some of the jokes that I can remember, and those are the Twisters. I liked how they were in the car chase in the Twisters and the police was still chasing them in the Twister. Thought that was pretty funny. The only gag that I liked with the live action part was with the Wanda Sykes needing an entrance music. I thought that was pretty funny until, you know, it just got worse. And I think it did have some good jokes. I honestly can't recall most of them. And it was very visually nice to look at. And I would say the plot kept me intrigued because I really wanted to know why this was happening, how they're going to get out of it. Those are mostly some of the positives. I'm sure there's others, but I can't think of them right now because I'm mainly focused on the negatives. So let's get to that real quick. So before we get to the negatives, I just want to talk about plot because that's the major part of the movie. From the trailer, I was very intrigued by this plot. I was like, why are they being scooped up from the ocean floor? Why are they in a lab? I kind of assumed some kind of zoo thing going on, or I didn't think about them being sold as action figures or whatever you want to call it, sea pals. But I think once we got to the motivation behind Wanda Sykes' character, I don't even remember what her character's name was. I was kind of like, oh, what? Like, why she does this? She's upset because she can't have real life sea creatures, so she's making it to where they can breathe and clone them. I was like watching it and just wondering, how are they going to get out of this? What is going on? Sandy's family incorporated with this buddy movie type thing, because it's most likely, it's always been a duo with SpongeBob and someone else having to help a situation. So this time it's Sandy and SpongeBob, and they have to walk to the laboratory and save their friends with the help of her family. And, well, she has always been an independent gal, never really needing to get help from others, and very strong, independent squirrel that just can fight big jellyfish, worms, freaking anything, honestly. And then, you know, this thread on Twitter that was talking about why this movie is bad, which I don't like to say it's bad, it's just not the best. They were talking about how really her family had to come to the rescue for, you know, the snakes, and then, you know, they were nice to give them a ride. Why all of a sudden does she need all this help? That's interesting. But I guess it's, you know, to really let us know that she has two families, and that the two families working together to solve problems, I guess. Why is Sandy's family a circus family? Why are they a circus family? Someone tell me that. Someone comment right now. Why are they a circus family? Because it makes the most sense. They're a rodeo family. Sandy is a rodeo gal. She's a Texas gal. You think of circus people, oh, like in Texas? Yeah. Hello? That was bizarre to me. So bizarre. And the fact that they're trying to tell us that Sandy has a circus background. No. In a recent episode I watched where her and Mr. Krabs are trying to win a ship in the bottle contest, she was like, this isn't my first rodeo, it's my 500th. She had a belt that said 500. She's done 500 rodeos. How are you going to do all that and be in the circus and pursue your dreams of science? They may have done all this circus stuff to help show, oh, this trick that we do in the circus will be good later on to fight this so-and-so or to beat this whatever. I'm sure there's some other things in rodeos that you would be able to do to combat snakes, or, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was so obscure, and how her mom is like, hey, you know, you could still take over the circus family. And she's like, Mom, you know, I love science. Girl, what is going on? It's like they're trying to erase what we would assume her family should be like. And it's kind of like with the whole new Patrick family in the Patrick show. I really don't understand all the lore on that. I'm not going to act like I do. I just know, like, the difference, how it, you know, the family in I'm Was Stupid is clearly not the family in the Patrick show, or there's no big sister Sam, you know? So it's just kind of like they're making stuff up on the fly to fit the plot or the new show idea. I don't know. Why the circus? And they're still in the circus. That is just, I don't get it. Do you guys like that or what? Let me know. The second qualm, I think would be the first and most prominent qualm that I have with this whole movie, are the live action parts with the live action actors. I pretty much hated every single time one of the actors had screen time. And it's not against the actors. It is the dry script, the lines, maybe it was the actor's delivery, but it could have been their direction as well. I don't know what went on in the set, okay? But I know when live action and SpongeBob have meshed well together. That was in Sponge Out of Water with the Antonio Banderas, and the fight sequence, like, that was really fun. Out of the water live action stuff. Not many live action actors. Antonio was great. Working with, you know, it's like anything that they said, I was like, this is not funny. like I said, the only thing I liked was when she did the entrance with her entrance music, how she has to set the tone. I thought that was interesting. But then they started dancing with it. I can't. And then there's more dancing when Sandy was like fighting with her Wanda Sykes robot self. What the heck was that? Why is she all of a sudden a cyborg? And she is like making her play a bunch of music out of her body, and the two lab assistants are dancing, doing the robot. I hated that. That was cringe. And I don't use that word a lot. I'll use it right now. It was cringe. I would have much rather seen the Bikini Bottomites dancing and doing the robot than the two assistants. They had no sauce. There's no sauce. And like no one else works there. They're just in that laboratory. I just expected more from that, I guess. But it's like you're mixing two things. Like you're trying to focus on the plot and how to make the live action part decent, and then the whole animated part. It's like you're juggling too much, babe. Pick one. Pick one and work on it. Okay? Because the live action just was not it. That's one of the main reasons I will not rewatch that movie. I do not like any of the live action actors in that movie at all. I'm sorry. I think a lot of people feel the same way. At least if they were in it less, that would be great. But they kept flip-flopping to them in a lab, and then Sandy and her family on SpongeBob. I just can't. So that's the main reason why I would rewatch it. And SpongeBob, I feel like didn't really add much. He was just like a sidekick. Like he was just there to offer like funny side jokes, which some of them were fine. Some of them were very corny. For example, the worst one being when they were in the drain. And, you know, this first joke did make me chuckle. He said, "I feel so drained." I love a good wordplay. But then, a minute later, it feels like, he said, "I feel flushed. Do you feel flushed?" Just said that same joke, but just used a different word. SpongeBob, bestie. I usually laugh at everything you say because I love you, but this, I would not stand for it. And then they come out of the drain, and all of a sudden, Sandy says the craziest thing. "Now I know what toothpaste feels like." What does that mean? Toothpaste does not come out of the drain. Toothpaste at the bottom of the sink? Is that what you're saying? Toothpaste at the bottom of the sinks? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying it's slimy? And why did they have that roller coaster to put SpongeBob on that leads him to his cloning process? What was the point of that? Just pick him up and put him in there. I don't want you to. I don't want you to do that. But if you wanted to put him in there, because that's your goal, why not just pick him up and put him in there? Like you did the other three with Squidward, Patrick, and Mr. Krabs. Why put him on a roller coaster? That takes forever. That takes the whole fight sequence, which, by the way, I don't even remember how it went down. All I know is that somehow Wanda Sykes' head ends up in that big piranha-looking fish. And she's like, "I'm a fish now, yay." Are we supposed to be happy for you? Because I'm not. Actually, I'm not. I'm not happy for you. Because you're the villain. And you hurt my favorite characters. Huh? And you know what? The reveal that they revealed Sandy, the videos of her spying on Sandy and how the Bikini Bottomites were betrayed by that. What? It's not Sandy's fault. Why are you guys mad that someone's been watching you? I mean, I guess you could blame her, but she's not doing it for malicious reasons. She's doing research. People up there are doing it for malicious reasons. Why you? Everyone was so sad about, oh, how could she do this to us? But think about it. It's them, not Sandy. This thread on Twitter has a lot of good reasons as to why this movie's not the best, and there's a lot of good stuff in there, and I just told you what I think honestly, because I'm such a passionate fan of SpongeBob and I was so excited, and I just, I was having the best time I could with what I had. I was laughing when I could. I wasn't, going into this movie being like, I can just tell it's not going to be good. Or, you just get a vibe and you just want to be sour. I was wanting to have a good time, and I did. But I don't want to rewatch it right now, and that's fine. I can say it is the worst movie of the SpongeBob franchise. And I can also say I enjoyed it because it was new. It was new. I didn't know what was happening. So, yeah. The ending, turning the Krusty Krab into a circus, actually the whole climax with them escaping was fine. They've done more outlandish things. No pun intended. Underwater. So this was kind of like, okay, sounds about right. Sounds about right. And it just works out. It just works out. They're pushing that two families and the circus thing once again at the end with the surf and turf song. Sandy's gotta sing. If it's a Sandy movie, there's gonna be a song. And honestly, I would much prefer a musical. This would have made this one maybe a bit more entertaining or just a bit more cringe. So cringe that it's entertaining. I don't know. It's something you could have added something and taken. You know what you could take it out? The live action. I will end on the fact that I appreciate the other three movies a lot better. I rewatched the first movie again today, and I was like, this is it. This is it. This is cinema. This is master class animation right here. Okay, it's just perfect movie. And I think as the movies go, as they release, they get a little bit more, not as good. But I think the other two still are funny and fun to watch and rewatch. So I do rewatch those. This one, like I said, is not rewatchable. I won't be watching it anytime soon, unless I just feel like I need to maybe give it another chance. We'll see if I'm feeling generous,
Later that same evening.
Hey friends, so as I was rewatching these movies, and the first three, the best ones, and I was like thinking to myself, I see a big difference as to why this Sandy movie isn't as welcoming and familiar as the first three. The first three start out regular life in Bikini Bottom, start out regular life, and you just see how they're living their day-to-day lives, see the Krusty Krab, SpongeBob's Pineapple, the relationships and the friendships people have with each other before it gets to the main plot of whatever the movie's about. But the Sandy movie kind of just starts straight away with just like, oh, you do the musical number, and then SpongeBob and Sandy meet up, and then bam, the claw comes. Like, you don't even see really anything like a day-to-day life. And I think that is what was missing, because you kind of just want to breathe for a little bit and not just get straight into the plot. But it's also different because the first three movies are about Plankton trying to get the formula, essentially, and this one is not even about the formula. It's a different premise, a different motivation. Weird one, I'll say that, but it is something. So I can recognize and appreciate the differences. How this time it isn't about Plankton getting the formula. They're thinking about a different plot. I can appreciate that, because the Plankton getting the formula can get old. I mean, he doesn't stop, so that's one thing. But I always love watching the beginning of the SpongeBob movies because it feels comforting before it gets to the chaos, and you just get to watch your favorite characters live their lives and be themselves. It was different. It was different, and it was something else, right? We watched something different. Yeah, bars. I have such a way with words. I really hope the next movie, I forget what it's called, but it's coming out next December, not this December, um, is much better than this. I was thinking to myself, I'm very glad this was on streaming so I could watch this at the house and not technically pay for it, you know? Let me know what you think of this movie. If you enjoyed it, no judgment at all. I'm very glad you enjoyed it. If this was up your alley, if Sandy's your favorite character, I'm happy for you. And I'm really glad that you enjoyed it. If you didn't, let me know what you think, your opinions, what you thought was good about the movie, what you thought was bad or mid, you know? And yeah, thanks so much for watching my review. And to save myself from rambling anymore about this gosh darn movie, I'm gonna see you guys on the flippity flop.